going on? This is City Wrestling Radio, and I might have just blown out your eardrums. I'm your host. I'm Corey Smith. I'm hanging out with my co-host of the day, the main roster mate himself, Mr. Jose Oseguera.
How's everybody doing today, and how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. You might ask, you might be sitting there looking at us, say, hey, what are you guys here to talk about today? Well, if you read the description, we just watched WrestleMania 9.
Oh my God.
Some would say the worst WrestleMania of all time. Others would say their first live WrestleMania ever watching it was my dad. I mean, I don't want to make us 2 for 2 with, it's not like a dad tribute series I'm doing.
Right.
But I believe this is the first WrestleMania I watched live.
Hey, any memory is a good memory.
Yes, it is. So I rewatched the show, and so did you, and we're going to talk all about it. Like I said, some would say the worst WrestleMania of all time. Others call it the Hogan Show, because I know I do after rewatching this.
It totally was. Yeah. April 3rd, 1993. Where were you? Corey was in his living room watching.
I was eating onion dip.
WrestleMania. Onion
dip. Drinking Pepsi. We're going to get into all of that. Before we do, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and the bell to notify for more shows that we do, because we do a plethora of shows all the time. They're always coming. You don't know when. Sometimes we don't even know when. So that's why you got to stay notified, because sometimes it's the only way.
What day's today? I don't even know.
Exactly, right? Anyways, WrestleMania, 37's coming up?
Is that what it is? 37? Wow, that's fast.
I mean, I'm trying not to date
just like yesterday was 31.
I'm trying not to date us too much, but
sure.
WrestleMania 37 is coming up, and
is it just me, or is this WrestleMania taking forever to get here?
Oh, this 2021 post
2021 Mania 2021 is taking forever. I feel like we've already should have been there and done that, but it's only it's what, mid-March. We're nowhere near it. Usually it's around my birthday, March 28th. Hi, everybody. If you want to say hello to me, shoot me something at City Wrestling J on Twitter.
You got to have a P.O. box to have them send you stuff.
Yeah, right. Let's get on that. We'll send our interns.
We'll open it up. We'll open it up on the air.
There you go. So yeah, it just feels like it's gonna be forever before we see Mania.
Yeah.
Because it's April 10th, April 20th, April 30th?
First week of April. I know that.
Okay.
We're, let's just say, X number of weeks away from WrestleMania 37, and we just recently found out, well, not, it's too recently, but recently, that the show will be hosted by none other than Titus O'Neil, who's returning for a second year. He hosted last year, right?
Awesome.
Back to back host. I give it up to Titus O'Neil. But also, unfortunately, Mr. Hulk Hogan.
So why do we need this guy around? It's 2021. Do we really need to see this guy on TV anymore? Is he drawing new fans? Is being a host drawing older fans? They already have.
Yeah, yes. I will say yes to the second one, yes.
Well, I'm going to say this. They already have their demographic, their key demographic of, 50 plus in the palm of their hands. They don't need Hogan to draw more guys in. Yeah. What? Well,
Jose,
the 50 plus crowd right now has nothing to do. They're at home, doing their COVID bids like we all are.
Or they could be at the stadium at WrestleMania seeing Hogan live. Singing,
yeah, tickets went on sale.
I don't know. With Hogan hosting, with Titus O'Neil, I'll just say it here. I mean, you could read into it how you want. I think the only reason Hogan is hosting with Titus O'Neil is for everyone to get the image of Hulk Hogan being a racist out of our heads. I just think that's what it is. I think at the end of the day, Titus hosted last year, so let's get him to host this year. But I don't even think that was our first thought. I think McMahon wants to bring Hogan back. He can't bring Hogan back because 90% of us was like, hey, there's a movie out on Netflix, like a documentary that chronicles the whole thing. Very good documentary, by the way. I forgot what it's called. But,
That thing about Gawker, right?
Yeah. And so a lot of people know about that. And him using the N-word, repeatedly in a video, and his kind of lackluster apology we heard he gave to a lot of the superstars in the back in WWE when he was first allowed back in to the company. It's just, to me, I think Hogan was the first pick to host, and they said, oh, well, we need to get a man of color next to him because we need to get that thought of him being a racist. We got to have him look like he's working well with a black man. And I'm just have Titus host again for the second year in a row. I just like you said, I don't need Hogan on my screen. I don't want Hogan on my screen. Like, fuck, we didn't need nor want Hogan on our screens in 1993.
True that.
Let alone 2021.
He was on screen for what, maybe an hour and a half, an hour at least.
When in WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 9. Yeah.
No, I think he had. I mean, how long was his tag?
He had the promo, he had the tag match, and then he had the. Well, I guess it was just he was out there for a long time.
Yeah, man.
For both matches, post-match, he was out there for at least 10, 15 minutes.
He's such a fucking heel, too.
It at least felt that long. Oh, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Anyways, I think WWE, if they want to bring him back into the company and take him to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah, take him there.
Go for it. Hey,
all day.
I don't really give a shit about those shows anyways. And I don't think a lot of people do. So
I'd rather he be on Survivor Series. To me, my memories of Hogan were mostly Survivor Series. WrestleMania was more of an all-encompassing thing. Everyone gets to, everybody, get your best game face on. We're going to do this. Survivor Series was more of a, I feel that. Survivor Series was definitely more of a Hogan built pay-per-view, Team Hulkamaniacs against, I don't know, the Macho Madness or whatever the fuck.
Whatever that was, like Tugboat and the Natural Disasters, right? There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Natural Disasters. I got it. Ding. All right. Well, enough of this. Enough Hogan bashing in 2021.
Yeah, right.
Let's go back to 1990.
Flash back to
93.
April 3rd, 1993, WrestleMania 9, or how I like to refer to it as Mullet Mania.
WrestleMania.
Let's count the mullets, shall we?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ding, 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 ding. Like I said, my first WrestleMania watching live. And it's just, this is such a flashback to me. Like, not just watching this, like, just looking at the people in the crowd, I'm like, oh, that person looks like they're dressed like my aunt. That person there reminds me of this person. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was totally. Just so fucking mid-90s, like early mid-90s, that it was just oh my God.
No, you totally saw, I forgot the announcer's name. That guy that was crowd surfing, asking people questions.
Todd Pettengill.
There you go. At one point, there was a kid behind him, and he pulls out with a tucked-in Guest T-shirt and the baggy jeans. I was like, oh my God, that's so 93.
You look at old pictures of yourself, you're like,
oh my God, I was that kid.
So WrestleMania 9, listed on Wikipedia as Paradise, California, which is right next to Las Vegas, California. It's kind of like the San Francisco Daly City type situation they got going on, I believe. Like I said, some would say the worst WrestleMania in history. And the first one I watched live, 16,891 in attendance. Kind of a low number, I think, even compared to Manias before this, right? Even like looking at the stands, it looked like a small show.
Yeah, it was jam-packed, like Jim Ross mentioned 94 times.
Yeah.
But that's because there's, no room.
As you mentioned, Jim Ross is heading the commentary table along with, I feel like this is the most motley crew of announcers because I don't ever remember these three together. Like, it's Jim Ross, Bobby Heenan, and Macho Man. It is that's like the one thing that I loved about this show was the commentary.
Because incoherent Macho Man, he was all over the place.
Oh yeah, brother! And then you got Bobby Heenan kind of like poking into Macho Man, and Jim Ross kind of trying, young Jim Ross, who still he still looks like he's 40, but I think he's like 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
totally.
I did love the commentary team. I will say that. So
Yeah, how about their entrances?
Oh god. They came down to the ring. They first came down. Was it Caesar and Cleopatra?
Yes.
Came down to the ring. It was just two people.
Cleopatra number 9 or 10 or 13. I don't know. Jim Ross had the facts. He had the history facts there.
Yeah.
The one that was closest associated with Caesar, Cleopatra number 24.
I think the one that got the biggest pop for the beginning entrance of the show was the elephant.
Yeah, right.
Because that elephant did the stand, and everyone's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Did you see an elephant?"
I was impressed the elephant didn't wild out with 19,000 people in attendance.
That elephant was a very well trained elephant. It went up,
Very well.
came down, and it turned right back around. Given it was the 90s, it could have been being prodded with like an electric sad to think about. Let's see. Stampy the
Bobby Heenan enters in a camel facing backwards.
Well, first off, Macho Man comes out. He comes out being carried in a sedan with being fed grapes by what they say.
Grapes are good.
By Distal virgins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We're no white.
Bobby Heenan's introduced. He's riding backwards on a camel. The segment goes on for 8 minutes, and that's the thing about this show. It's filling time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have fit in at least 3 more matches into the show.
Dude, there was no America the Beautiful. There was no national anthem.
It was weird. Yeah. I felt like they were trying to be kind of cool with that. Like, we're in Las Vegas. We're not going to do America.
It was their first Vegas show, right? Caesar's show?
First, I think.
Mania?
Well, definitely. They've never done
it. Was their first.
Mania.
Yeah, I think it was their first Mania at
they did
Stadium
Monday Night
Caesars.
Raw before, like just in New York and the East Coast. So this goes on, like I said, for about 8 minutes until we get our first match. The opening match of the night, Shawn Michaels, accompanied by debuting Luna Vachon.
Oh, wait, stand by. Something we completely forgot to mention.
What?
Everyone is togaed out.
Oh, yeah. So the theme about
every announcer, Bobby Heenan, not Macho Man, he's special, privilege.
Well, he still has a themed outfit. Like
it's a royal.
It looks like Macho Man.
Theme.
Yeah, it's Macho Man, but he's got the same colors that everyone else has. So
yeah, and even the cameramen, the lighting crew, everyone is togaed out.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of how you would go to like an amusement park, like a themed amusement park. Let's say not just like Great America, but you'd go to Paramount's Great America. And everyone would be wearing, the same thing. You'd go to the Star Trek thing, and people are wearing all Star Trek things. You go to the Waterworld exhibit; they all look like they're fucking in Waterworld, like they don't have soluble water. But yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It also reminded me of like I had this weird fascination with resorts when I was a kid, and this is what it kind of reminded. It reminded me of like you'd go to Caesar
Farm.
Yeah, and it was very Caesar's themed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. It was. I can't remember what the tagline for the show was. I think it was like a toga party for everyone or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
We kick it off with the first match. Like I said, Shawn Michaels with the debuting Luna Vachon. Was it the daughter to Mad Dog Vachon? They said.
Right.
We went through this before on our Sunday Night Heat reviews. I just realized if we didn't stop those Sunday Night Heat reviews, we would have been stopped anyways because of Peacock.
You're right.
Yeah. So Tatanka comes to the ring, followed by Sherry Martel. Oh, so this match gets about 18 minutes and 13 seconds, which was way too fucking long for this match.
And Sherry with a strange entrance. She didn't really accompany Tatanka. She was just kind of there.
She just sauntered behind him. Tatanka comes out to the ring, and
it's a great word.
I used to love Tatanka. I used to love Tatanka when I was a kid. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
But now I'm just like, you can't really work that well.
Yeah.
So
there was this one good spot.
Which was?
It was that arm drag off the top rope where Shawn was trying to do like a clothesline, and Tatanka arm dragged him off there.
Yeah.
Instead, it was like a counter. So mullet versus mullet match. Here we go.
So these two start off with a lot of old school wrestling, a lot of headlocks, hammerlocks, and single leg takedowns. Tatanka takes HBK down with the arm drag as HBK comes off the top turnbuckle, as you were saying. Did you get this? Okay, remember the WrestleMania match with, of all people, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, and later it was like fucking, I don't know, 20 something, where he was overselling to shit like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. There's actually a TikTok about that. Yeah.
Did you get that in this match? Did you feel like
overselling?
Shawn Michaels was being arrogant and overselling?
A couple times.
I felt like Shawn Michaels was like, there was points where he would flop backwards, and I'm like, dude. Like,
and he hit that corner. You know how they do that thing where they miss the turnbuckle and go into the corner rail?
That was one of the ones that looked like, scene for scene, looked like one of the when he had that match with Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, to me, like, he was still a younger guy. He could have just been like a little pissed off, like, whatever, I'm gonna fucking sell the shit out of this match. I don't care. Everyone knows everyone's heard the rumors of Shawn Michaels in WWF back in the early to mid 90s. So to me, I thought he was overselling a bit for Tatanka. He's like, I'm in Tatanka in the opening match.
Yeah. And that Ric Flair, flip over the turnbuckle thing, he did that too. And it was a little much. Yeah. He could have, taken the steam off of it. But, we have a newly crowned, newly Intercontinental Champion, freshly broken up from the Rockers.
Shawn Michaels.
The Midnight Rockers. Do you remember the Midnight Rockers? Anyway.
I watched that live, and I was so shocked when HBK kicked. I was like, I think I was crying when that happened. I was one of the kids. I was like, I thought it was so violent. I was just like, oh my God, he's dead. There's an eye poke to Tatanka to slow him down. A sloppy diving sunset flip to Tatanka by HBK. At one point, I hear some audio to what I can only describe as it sounding like somebody opening a candy bar or a bag of chips by the microphone. And I just envision just like, hey, hold on. Yeah, it's great. Whatever. Because it looked like something was ruffling around the microphone. I don't know what it was, but long-standing armbar to HBK. Tatanka is just working on HBK's arm for a few minutes. At one point, the commentators just stop talking, and the match just like slows down, and the fans even come to a standstill. And 19 minutes in, this is 19 minutes in, and just everyone just stops.
Everybody just got bored. Everybody was like,
What's going on? Are the concessions they're still open? Yo, we've only been here for 30 minutes. Okay.
Is it piss break yet?
Yeah. I don't even know what I wrote. I wrote shoulder brewer. I don't know what the fuck that means. To a falling elbow, to the top rope chop to HBK. Oh, shoulder tackle, I think. Super kick to Tatanka as he's coming off the top turnbuckle. Still not his finisher yet. It's not HBK's finisher.
But it looked nice, though.
It did. HBK throws Tatanka outside. Sherry blocks Luna from attacking him. HBK is just taunting his former valet, Sherry. These two guys, like I said, they're having like a Monday Night Raw match on pay-per-view. Headlocks. They battle into the corner. HBK climbs onto the shoulders of Tatanka, and he does like a modified victory roll, which didn't look like they knew what they were doing, but they did it. Michaels gets slammed down on his shoulders with Tatanka with a fall-away slam. Michaels hits a double axe handle to Tatanka, and that's when Michaels gets caught with a power slam coming off the top rope, the only good move, or the good spot I liked in this match. Savage on commentary goes, you know what? This match should be over by now. And then
so effing bored.
And then Heenan agrees and said, it should have been over 30 minutes ago or 30 moves ago. I'm just like, I feel you, Heenan. I feel you guys, man. Please stop this match, guys. HBK then pulls the ref out of the ring. Tatanka. So this is weird. HBK pulls the ref out of the ring.
Well, let's not forget, he's out already, and the ref is counting.
Yes, and the ref is counting. Tatanka hit, HBK gets in the ring. Tatanka hits a power slam in front of the ref. The ref is standing in the ring now again, and he covers HBK, and the ref just goes, no, ding, 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 DQ. So when we learned that HBK, I thought HBK had been counted out by the ref.
Yeah, that's what the official ruling was.
That's what happened. Okay, so the HBK, we learned that he's been counted out by the ref. I went back and paid close attention. The ref does seem like, okay, so I went back and I paid close attention, and the ref does seem like he was going to call for the bell when HBK pulled him out. But in order to do that, they would have to negate the rope break that or the breaking the count that happened 5 seconds earlier. So he continued the count because HBK got into the ring and came out, or it was one of them that jumped out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Tatanka wins by countout in your opening match, WrestleMania 9. What did I say? 19 minutes? 18 minutes and 13-second opening countout victory match. Off to a great start.
Screwball finish as your curtain jerk. This is gonna get worse.
It was way too long.
It's like okay, guys. The theme of tonight is screwy finishes. That's what we're gonna do. That's the pay-per-view today.
You know, I just realized we're reviewing Luna's debut, and we reviewed Luna's last match in WWE too.
Wow.
That was another show, guys. If you want to watch that, you can watch like the 20 episodes we did of Sunday Night Heat. I sure you do that.
Yeah.
So after
this is equal to a Sunday Night Heat, if you ask me.
No way, dude. Those Sunday Night Heats were way more exciting. It was over in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
This took 4 trips to watch for me. Four times to sit down to watch the show. It was bad.
I didn't too.
After the match, Luna and Sherry brawl on the outside. Luna slams Sherry and Ross. Jim Ross says, Sherry needs help. And that's when Heenan replies, well, yeah, look at her. Look at her makeup. It's just like, fucking Bobby Heenan, man. He's a godsend. Because if there was no Bobby Heenan on this show, I would have texted you and be like, we're not doing this review, dude. We're not. I can't stand this shit. So
yeah, well, this is Bobby Heenan in his prime, his announcing prime, because his managerial time prime was a little bit before this. But yeah,
this is before WCW.
Yeah.
So they have Mean Gene backstage with the newly signed to the WWF, the Steiner brothers. Scott Steiner cracks me up because I remember when he went that transformation into Big Papa Pump, and I'm like, he looks completely different. Like he didn't even look anything like that before. And now every time I go back and I look at old Scott Steiner, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Big Papa Pump. I just look at Scott Steiner. What's up, Mean Gene? You know, it looks like he's just like, I'm like, hey, Scott Steiner, what's going on?
I was like, I was a fan in his NWA days, NWA/WCW days. Yeah. And I was like, this kid's, he's got potential. He's going to be good. I didn't think, this kid back then, I was a kid too. But, this guy's going to be great one day. I can't wait till he goes solo. And little did I know, Big Papa Pump is what would come out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wait a minute. I'm getting some in my headset. What's that? Sherry's been attacked while she was in the first aid room.
Yeah.
What's going on?
They were just like, I don't know. We got to continue that. They left for the evening. So,
yeah. And you know what? I really forgot this pay-per-view and I didn't research it to see what I was getting myself into. I was just like, go for it. It kind of felt like they were teasing a Sherry Martel, sensational Sherry.
Sensational.
What scary Sherry?
No, sensational at this point.
Okay, sensational Sherry, Luna Vachon impromptu match that never came.
I wish it would have,
because they kept giving us updates and nothing happened.
So Scott and Rick are talking to Mean Gene. They're just like, hey, we're gonna wrestle tonight. Although Rick is just talking with his camera to the back the entire time, or his back to the camera the entire time.
That's how Scott
his camera was to other people's backs too. So, so then we have the head shrinkers, Samu and Fatu. You might know Fatu. He's looking a little recognizable.
A little slim there.
Well, yeah, tiny little Rikishi. Tiny Rikishi in this. Versus
Mini Kishi
versus Rick and Scott, the Steiner brothers. Was Alpha with them, right? Or was that with Samu and Fatu?
I'm pretty sure it was Alpha.
I'm pretty sure it was Alpha. Yeah. So Scott Steiner and Fatu start the match. They go back and forth. Shrinkers building the heat on the Steiners. The Steiners come back with a double shoulder tackle off the top rope. Samu and Rick go back and forth. Rick throws Samu into the ring post. We have a double underhook powerbomb to Samu by Scott. Scott then charges Samu, and Samu fucking catapults Scott out of the ring.
Dude, like... Was that done on purpose?
Good thing I think
Did they know this was gonna happen?
Fatu was on the good thing. Like, what was it? Fatu, whatever you want to call him, was on the outside. Because if he wasn't, there would be nobody out there to catch him, and that guy
he would have landed with a thud.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
man! For a second, I thought he was going to hit the ropes and fold over the ropes.
He went right
he cleared
over
the ropes. Oh shit!
Alpha then strikes Scott Steiner with a kendo stick. Savage states, WrestleMania 9 is going to be a nightmare. I can see it now. There was something about Macho Man. He knew a lot. I think he had a lot of insider knowledge to the show.
Yeah, no, and he was actually flying high because he had a little incident, but we'll get to that shortly.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to be disputed about. I did my research, so we'll get there. All right. Okay. Falling headbutt to Scott Steiner by Fatu. The Shrinkers are then building the heat on Scott for a long while. Rick is finally able to tag in. He gets the hot tag, runs wild on the Shrinkers until he tries a double headbutt on the Shrinkers. But, they're the head Shrinkers. They have their heads are
atomic heads,
impervious to pain.
Mm-hmm.
Rick is then on the shoulders of Fatu, which was okay. So there's a really cool spot right here. Rick is on the shoulders of Fatu, and Samu goes for the Doomsday Device. Rick then catches Samu and transitions into a power slam to Samu to Fatu off of Samu's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, holy crap, man. There was some parts of this match that were really good. And not like really good, like executed well, but really good as like
young Rick and Scott were fucking workers, man.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? Let's try it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A really bad looking Frankensteiner to Samu, and then we just get the pin and the win. That was, I feel like, all night too. Like there would be some good spots, and then like a really bad spot, and then the end.
Okay, well, let's give Scott some credit here because the Frankensteiner was somewhat new on American television.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the only Huracan Rana that existed at the time. So at the time we were like, whoa, this is great. He hit it. He used to hit it off the top rope in WCW.
Yeah.
But seeing it at this time, we've been spoiled. We've seen Rey Mysterio hit the most beautifulest Frankensteiners ever.
We've seen, other guys, literally Evan Bourne or Matt Sydal.
I mean, dude, the Canadian Destroyer hadn't been invented yet, so we're kind of living in, this being spoiled by the sport.
Stu Hart is barely just jotting notes down on it. Flip over. I really liked this match. There were some parts that were slower than others, but overall, these guys, all four of them were really creative, and they fucking gave it their all. So I got to give it to them for that. And nothing was like, oh, that looks so bad,
Yeah. No, well, Samu didn't feel a little bit lazy to me, but, it could be just, eras.
Yeah.
That was the style.
Then we have Mean Gene Okerlund backstage with Doink the Clown with the original. This is the original Doink the Clown. This is Matt Osborne, heel Doink. He wants to bring a sense of humor to WrestleMania 9. Because it's Doink, and he wants to put a smile on his face.
I've always said that my most hated gimmick of all time was Doink, but then I remembered who his competitor was.
We had Doink the Clown. You mean Billy Ray Cyrus?
But to my count, this is mullet number 4.
Generic mullet guy number 4. Crush.
Dude, this gimmick was just horrific.
The angry Hawaiian man. Because you know how they get so angry in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
And they name him Crush because...
The guy looks like he's from Colorado.
Yeah, totally. With a tan, a spray tan at that. And they name him Crush after the orange soda because the orange soda reminds them of the orange sunsetting sun in Hawaii. What?
You know where the name... he was the third member of Demolition before.
I think it was after this, though. He got introduced as Crush, and then went face?
Yeah, it was...
And they turned him into this?
Axe, Smash, and Crush.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was Hawaiian Crush first, then he became Demolition Crush.
No, and then he became Kona Crush. Which Kona Crush is like kind of a better name than just Crush.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the dude looks like Billy Ray Cyrus.
Totally.
And it's just funny.
They should have just kept him as Demolition Crush. That's dumb.
Just be the one dominatrix, dude.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they sued Vince, right? Or they
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, I think they tried to sue Vince. So that's the reason why Vince wanted to put the title on the New Day so many times, because they wanted them to beat the record of how many, title reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Crush versus Doink the Clown. This match came to be when Doink attacked Crush a few weeks ago with a sinister, loaded arm, fake arm. I don't fucking. It was
that was funny.
It was a fake arm. He ripped out of his. He ripped it off and started beating with it. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crush chases Doink down when the sadistic clown thrusted into Crush's direction. Crush then beats down on Doink on the outside. They go into the ring and the match officially starts. Besides the bell not being rung, these referees suck tonight, dude. The bell wasn't rung.
Yes,
all night.
And it's not the first. It's not the first time that happened.
It won't be the last. Crush no selling Doink shots on the out. Saying Doink's shots is kind of hard on the outside. And Macho Man has some words of inspiration for Crush. Crush him, Crush.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind there.
Thanks, Macho. Appreciate it, buddy. And then proceeds. Doink then mounts a comeback when he chokes Crush on the top rope and then proceeds to, fall off the turnbuckle, knocking Crush down. We have an ultimate punch to Crush. Doink just comes off. He's just like, two punches at once. Pile driver to Crush. To say this match slowed down when Doink beats down on Crush is a lie, because it never got started. Like it was just like people like the entrance of Doink, and then that's it, and then the ending, and then that's it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Crush gets his foot up when Doink comes off the top rope. Crush catches Doink coming off the top rope, gives him a power slam, clothesline to Doink, knocking him off out of the ring. That's when Doink crawls to the outside of the ring for the first time, and I thought that's when, because I knew it was going to happen, I thought he was signaling to someone like, "Hey, get ready," Yeah. Crush drags.
Wake up.
Crush drags Doink. Well, I mean, fuck, dude, this guy had to have been brought out like before the show, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he had a little monitor and a blanket and some snacks.
Crush,
water, some beers.
Yeah. Crush drags Doink back into the ring. We have a military press slam to Doink. Crush goes for the Kona Crush, inadvertently knocking the ref out of consciousness. Doink crawls back under the ring. Crush then applies the Kona Crush again when another Doink appears with the loaded arm.
Who can name a worse finisher than that?
And that's, the Doinks get to hit their WrestleMania moment that'll live forever. When they do the whole, yeah, it's literally, it's one of those things. It'll be up forever. Yeah. Just like with Hogan go.
Yeah.
Doink number 1 rolls up Crush. We get the pin and the win. This match was bad. At least there was a story to it, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I could say about it. At least there was a story to it. I don't know what else to say about it, because it's Doink, it's Crush, it's another Doink.
Double your doinks.
Anyways, down runs another referee to show the first ref that there is another Doink under the ring, but he is nowhere to be found. So I wonder if he had a secret exit. Maybe Hornswoggle. Yeah. Then we get Todd Pattengale in the Bob Uecker seats in a very dated segment. I don't even remember what he says. He was just very like you know what I feel like Todd Pattengale was? Was he Shane's friend?
He
Like,
may have been. It looks like he was,
he
right?
looks like kind of like Shane.
I want to say he was like a stand-up comedian, MTV type of guy.
I think he was a little older than Shane for sure because I mean Shane was this guy's age in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely seemed like a Shane type of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? He was the first frat brother. Oh no, Vince had a frat, and this is one of the frat brothers that he hired to be on his show. And then later on, Shane joins the same frat, of course, because he's a legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think this guy was like an MTV dude.
Well, I know he hosted like a bunch of. I mean, I've I used to see him on WWE, but it's just like I don't know where the fuck they get this guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we go to our next match of the night: Razor Ramon versus Bob Backlund. I don't know how to say it.
I'm gonna be totally honest here and say that I know I saw the match. I didn't take notes.
It was 3 minutes long.
I don't remember anything except the roll up.
Yeah, it was 3 minutes and 45 seconds long. So
yeah, and to think Bob Backlund actually goes on to become champion, or did that already happen?
No, I think he goes on to be champion because Diesel wins it. Yeah, because Diesel wins it after. Yeah, because Shawn Michaels is still in his Intercontinental title run. So yeah, I think mid 90s is when he wins it.
Yeah, and Bret Hart wins the title back when we go into the steroid fiasco of '94.
I will say this.
Yeah,
I dug Bob Backlund for the 3 minutes he was in the ring. He looked like a straight shooter. He looked like a Daniel Bryan type.
Hey, dude, they look like they plucked him straight out of the 50s.
Well, yeah, that too.
Like he jumped in a DeLorean and came over to WrestleMania '95. Yeah.
Let's go, Razor. And he's just like, Razor's like, what the, like throwing his toothpick. Like, I don't care. Hey, what do you want to do? So Razor, fuck it. It was a 3 minute match. A bunch of leg sweeps to Razor. Heenan makes a point. He says, Buckland is 43 years old, and that's when he took 8 years off. So he's 43 at this time. When he wins the title, he'll be like 45, 46. Scoop slam to Backlund. A series of not connecting tosses to Razor Ramon. Like he does these arm drags, but they're not even,
Yeah.
Double underhook fisherman to Ramon. Then we suddenly get an inside cradle, the pin, and the win for the bad guy. Like I said, I was never a fan of Backlund before, but I can really appreciate wrestling on a wrestling show.
Who would have thought?
It was fun, but with a fucked finish. So.
Yeah, I think other than let's count another mullet there on the ticker for Razor Ramon, but these screwy finishes, man. This should have been called screwball finish.
It was 2 for 2, right?
Yeah.
Or was that the third match?
No, it was legit. Yeah, this is the third match, but it was
that was a screwball finish.
Fourth match. Yeah, that was a screwball, but the tag match was actually legit.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is very true, my friend.
But I mean, 1 out of 5 right now.
Yeah. Next segment we have is Mean Gene Okerlund backstage with Money Incorporated, and Mean Gene thinks Money Inc.'s tag titles are in jeopardy because he goes, I think your titles might be in jeopardy tonight. You're facing Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake. I'm like, oh, it's fucking Brutus Beefcake. They're not winning, dude. They're fine. You guys are fine. Don't worry. You'll keep your titles. DiBiase says a bunch of stuff. Everyone's got their price. IRS just gets on the mic, and all I can remember is how bland he was. We're going to go out there, and we're going to keep these titles, and we're going to show them what we do and how we retain the titles. And yeah, I was like, holy Jesus Christ. IRS.
Who would have thought he would have fathered one Bray Wyatt? So creative and so, innovating.
Oh, I mean, come on. Who else could spawn the Fiend than the son of a IRS man?
Yeah,
or woman.
That's why they made him into an IRS man, because he was so bland. Oh my God, you're like an accountant.
He seemed like a dad. You know what I mean? Just like
yeah.
And I think he might have just been into his character so much. He was like, no, I got to be bland. I work for the fucking IRS.
The blander, the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
you remember? Oh, former tag partner to one Rick Steiner, and a former member of the Varsity Club. Do you remember that?
Stone Cold?
No. Your Mike
IRS?
Rotunda.
Oh, Mr. Rotunda. So then we get Money Inc. defending their WWF Championship, Tag Team Championships against Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake, accompanied by Jimmy Hart, a team I'd like to call the Barbecue Express. Because
that's good.
My analogy for this is that Hulk Hogan's gimmick is that he's a hot dog. His colors are red and yellow, ketchup and mustard. He's got the colored skin of a hot dog.
Red and looks like he's about to explode. Yeah.
And then you got Beefcake. You know, when I think beefcake, I think of a round circular piece of beef, like a patty. And then they got the old man with a microphone yelling
mayonnaise.
Shit. Yeah, just mayonnaise all over the place.
Yeah.
So
and he's one of those he's Bill from Nashville, right?
Oh, Jimmy Hart?
Yeah,
I think so.
What's Nashville famous for?
Barbecue.
Yeah,
we did it. Woo! Ding, 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 ding.
Connect the dots.
That's when Hogan just knocks on your door. He goes, "Brother, I'm here to congratulate you." Just slammed it. So Beefcake has a weird mask on. Apparently it's titanium of sorts. I don't know. It looks plastic to me. And Hulk Hogan has a mysterious black eye. I thought he should have been wearing the mask.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wouldn't find
so
Hogan
he has black eye. He has stitches.
Hey, no, wasn't there a time where Hogan came out in like a gladiator helmet for a while? He had like a gladiator helmet with like a broom thing on the middle.
No, it was it was a fist.
Oh my god, that's where the SmackDown fist comes from.
There's a gold fist on his thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad. Okay, so Hogan came out with a black eye.
It was worse than the black eye. All his blood vessels in his eye were broken,
busted.
So you couldn't tell his actual eyeball, his pupils, and his iris.
You see it later, yeah.
Yeah, and it's super black. Like when you see pop vessels in the eye, it's usually red. This was like happened maybe a couple days ago because it's beyond the red point. It was black, so you couldn't see. It was like he was wearing a contact.
Yeah. So there's a couple versions of the story of what happened. Jim Cornette. So take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? This is where the story came from. He says, Savage found out that Elizabeth had ran off to Hogan's house and was staying with Linda. Linda and Miss Elizabeth were best friends at the time, or at least good friends. When Elizabeth left because Macho Man, she just wanted to get away from him for a while.
He was allegedly abusive, verbally.
The Dark Side of the Ring really touches on that.
Yeah, watch that episode, y'all. Season 2.
And Hogan didn't tell Savage that she was there, which is why when Savage confronted him with that, he confronted him by, as Cornette says, punching him in the fucking eye. And that's why Hogan had a black eye at WrestleMania night. So that's one side of the story.
Yeah.
The other side of the story, Hogan sat down with Access TV, AXS TV, for an interview, I believe, in 2017. Hogan claimed the black eye was caused by a jet ski accident one day before WrestleMania. He broke his orbital socket and required over 100 stitches under the skin, which I've never heard of. In order to receive clearance, Hogan said he told the commission doctor that the injury was part of a storyline involving Randy Savage. The story allegedly...
That was never publicized?
The doctor allegedly believed Hogan and cleared him to compete.
No, yeah. And, okay. See, this is tough. Who do you believe? The misogynist or the racist?
Why would Cornette? Well, I guess why would Cornette need to lie about that? There's probably tons of reasons.
He had no reason to.
He could have had a reason to.
When asked to, there was a quote of him saying, "You know, isn't this like common knowledge? Doesn't everybody know this?"
And it to me, I think the first story happened. I think
Yeah.
Macho Man could have, punched Hogan. I was trying to listen the entire night. There were things you could have like picked out from Macho Man's commentary that you're like, oh my God, he said Hogan knows what he's doing. You could take that as you will. And I was like, oh, he said that. Oh no,
I think it was more what Macho Man didn't say.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he was kind of muzzled when it came to the Hogan matches.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, there was a couple things I did write down.
Okay.
So that was those are the two stories. Like I said, I believe Macho Man had something to do with it. I believe he tried to cover it up. And he's using this to cover that up. And, that story of, needing stitches under the eye and lying to the commission and yada, yada, yada. So, because to me, okay, why would you lie to the commission and be like, oh, it's okay, it's storyline? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Injury is an injury.
You still have the injury.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you got it. You still have it.
Yeah.
Idiot. So Macho Man on commentary goes, ooh, that must have been a cheap shot. It just like little things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wasn't there. Can't say. And if I was, why would a 5-year-old boy be hanging out at Hogan's house with him and Macho and Elizabeth and Linda? That's just weird.
Yeah. Well, Dark Side of the Ring is doing this weird thing right now where there's only 2 episodes deep in this season. And one is a new story and one is a rehash of the Montreal Screwjob. So they're going back into a earlier episode. So maybe we'll get a Macho Man Miss Elizabeth in-depth review, redo.
Probably Cornette again.
Yeah. So what they're doing is
I'll free up my schedule though if they want me to come in. I was 5, so.
So it's Conrad, our the one internet guy.
We got Conrad Thompson, Eric Bischoff, and Corey Smith. Hey guys,
and the 2 creators of Dark Side. One
of these things does not belong.
Yeah, that rehashed their their episodes. So we'll hopefully get a rehash of this whole incident and get more insight.
Hey, fingers crossed, because honestly, Macho Man, what's there not to say about the guy? Like you hear the stories. First of all, I'll say this. I loved the guy when I was a kid. Who didn't fucking love Macho Man? I knew people, like I worked with this woman when I was a butcher and she was working in the deli and she goes, oh, my aunt loved the Macho Man. Oh, I remember he would come out to the ring and have those glasses and, things like that. And I was like, yeah. So it's like people remember that kind. Like, what's the one impersonation anybody does when they say do a impersonation of a wrestler? Anybody will either go, oh, yeah, brother, or go, oh, yeah. Actually, it'll be a combination. It'll be like, oh, yeah, brother. You know what I mean? So
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So Money Inc. is attacking Barbecue Express early while Hogan is still doing his... Hogan is still doing his intro, and Money Incorporated attack him. Him and Beefcake throw out the 2 members of Money Incorporated while Hogan's music is still playing, and then they still continue to pose. So them
very heelish.
So them beating down on them was part of the intro. Okay. IRS and Brutus start the match. They begin getting the heat on Brutus. Brutus fights back with the help of his mask because it's made of pure titanium.
Of course.
You can't break that. Ted tries to smash... I love calling him Ted. Ted tries to smash Beefcake's face into the turnbuckle, but like I said, he's impervious to pain with the mask on. Brutus then smashes DiBiase's face into the turnbuckle. We get a tag to Hogan, and I swear to God, the whole fucking crowd came alive. That's all they wanted to see there was Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Hogan pounds away on DiBiase. Hogan tags out. Hogan tags in. Money Inc. Fights off Hogan. They proceed to try to leave the match. That's when the ref, Howard Finkel, announces if Money Inc. leaves the match, they will be stripped of the tag titles and be given to Hogan and Beefcake.
Whoa. Pump the brakes.
Heel move.
What? And why wasn't this stipulation added to the Shawn Michaels situation? He's the champ. He was counted out. Why didn't restart that match?
It's not Hogan, dude.
Yeah.
That's why.
Talk about favors.
Dude,
Even kayfabe wise, he's getting a buttload of favors this
Yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah.
Like for no apparent reason.
I think the only reason why I liked him is because I was an arrogant kid. And I was just like, fuck, I don't care. Do anything to win. Yeah, we win. USA, USA,
Yeah.
USA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Totally.
like I say, now looking back, I'm like, this guy's a dick.
Mm-hmm.
He takes advantage of everyone and everything. He has uncontrollable anger. You know what I mean? And there's something up with his skin. What is up with that? I know I said it looked like a hot dog already, but Jesus Christ.
That is Hulk Hogan's signature look. Blonde Chinese hair and the skin of a hot dog.
Let's see.
Especially here. This is like some of the most hair I've ever seen on his head.
Yeah. Money Inc. comes back into the ring. Brutus inadvertently distracts the ref while Money Inc. is choking Hogan out with the tag rope. $1 million dream to Hogan in the middle of the ring. Beefcake breaks up the hold with a sleeper hold of his own from behind. He comes from behind the ref's back. Both Ted and Hulk are down. Hogan beats the 10 count. Hot tag to Beefcake. DiBiase nails Bruce. I keep messing the name up. Brutus in the kidneys with his Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, just his gold briefcase. Although I will say this, you hear a lot of Vince-isms throughout the entire night. There's things I heard that I'm like, they still say that today.
Bobby Heenan actually referred to that case as the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, well, yeah, I wrote it down at the end. You know, he says something like this, oh, that's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So DiBiase removes Beefcake's mask, and he actually succeeds. Brutus then fights back with a double clothesline. He has a sleeper on IRS when DiBiase knocks them both down into the ref. Big boot to IRS. Hogan then grabs Beefcake's titanium mask to strike both members of Money Inc. with it. Hogan and Beefcake go for the cover when Jimmy Hart turns his jacket inside out to reveal a ref striped jacket. He counts the 3 count. Everyone goes wild, and
yeah, even the brain is like, I don't even know if he has authority to do that.
Yeah,
where would he get that authority? Did he win? Did they win? Did they lose? What's going on here?
So, dude, Heenan was the voice of reason the entire night. Another ref comes down because the refs are fucking moronic in this show. It takes 2 or 3 of them to make a decision.
Yeah. No. Oh, and Heenan also mentioned like, well, what's going on with this count out rule? That's dumb.
Yeah,
Why are they doing this? And I'm like, dude, Bobby, you're the brain. You're right.
He points out that Money Inc. are the winners by DQ. I think it's fucking great too how it's the Hogan show, and he's sitting there posing with the tag. He posed with 2 titles in that night.
Yeah.
So Money Inc. technically defeated Barbecue Express by DQ, and this match was overbooked to hell. Like,
yeah,
there was too many things happening. Yeah, that's when.
And now after this match, I don't blame Danny Davis for turning heel.
No,
I don't blame him at all.
No,
if you
tired
guys
of
remember
Hogan's
Danny
shit.
Davis, the referee, yeah, Hulk treated him like crap.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jimmy Hart threw him over the top rope. What the hell, man? He's just a ref that came in to enforce some rules.
Yeah.
Why you guys gotta go all heel turn on him?
The Mega Maniacs. That's what they were called. Jimmy Hart begs the Mega Maniacs to not take out the ref, Dave. What's his name? Davey Danger?
Danny Davis.
Danny Davis, sorry.
Dangerous Danny Davis.
I always call him Davey Dangers for some reason.
Is because he was dangerous Danny Davis.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're right there. You're right there. You're right there.
Then, like you said, Jimmy Hart throws him out of the ring. The Mega Maniacs celebrate in the ring despite losing for a good 3-4 minutes.
Boo.
Fucking boo. It sucks. Oh, and then Hogan opened up Ted DiBiase's briefcase, or IRS's briefcase.
Yeah.
And gives all his money away.
Yeah. Well, there's tax forms in there. Come on, man. The guy worked hard filling those things out. What's wrong with you? Or maybe that's somebody else's. He's Mr. IRS.
You know what I want to see?
That could have been somebody's tax forms that you just tossed out. Now they got to do everything again. They're going to get...
You're not getting their stimulus, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
What I want to see is... Because fucking... Oh God, what was his name? Rotunda. What was his name? What?
Irving
No.
Schneitzer.
No. His actual
Mike Rotunda?
Yeah, Mike Rotunda. Because I can tell he is dedicated to his gimmick. I could see him in the IRS building. hi. I need to get some paper. Which ones? It really doesn't matter. It's I'm a wrestler. Hold on, let me get somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two people walk up. Hi, sir. My colleague right here told me that you need some. Yes, I want that story. So then Hogan gives he's very selective about who he gives the money to as well, because he hands it to some people and then some people try to grab it and he like pulls away. I'm like, dude, just fucking give it. God, come on.
Just toss it, dude. Damn.
Then maybe you could help me out. Who's Natalie Cole?
Natalie Cole is the daughter of Nat King Cole. She's the woman that her greatest hit commercial success was that song Unforgettable.
Ooh.
That's who you are. And she did it to her recently deceased father's vocals, and they did like a mashup of both vocals in the studio, and that's what made her a giant hit. She's actually a famous R&B soul singer from the early 80s. And she was famous within that circle, and then that Unforgettable song made her a pop sensation.
Okay, now I know, because I had no idea who Natalie Cole was. Because she's in the crowd with Todd Pattengale, who asked her if she got any money. She said, no, but I'm having fun. And that's when the CEO of Caesar's Palace, they interview him, and he's just like, 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you for coming to Caesar's Palace. Everyone's really grateful of Caesar's Palace having. He just gives a whole spiel like he's at an actual sporting event. Yeah. He's, the WWE people have been so great, and it's just been great having you guys here, and come to Caesar's Palace if you want to get away. I'm like, dude,
our revenue has been higher.
Yeah, I'm like, shut up. I don't care. It's the early to mid 90s. Of course, their revenue hasn't been higher. Jesus Christ,
no,
money will never flow like that again. It was like 80s money right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I was like, oh. So then we move on to Mean Gene Okerlund backstage yet again, this time with Mr. Perfect. It's weird seeing Mr. Perfect as a face. Like,
yeah, right.
I know he was a face a lot, but in my head, I always thought he was a better heel.
He still had a little, he still had heel edge.
Yeah, good face. I was just a better heel.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect isn't so perfect though when he totally flubs a line and needs Mean Gene's help. He's I'm gonna go out. And Mean Gene's like, yeah, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna win the. Yeah, that's right.
Who can say that word schlimmily?
And just seeing those bloopers though of Mean Gene, I just fucking would like. What the fuck was that, Mr. Perfect?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Mr. Perfect versus the narcissist, Lex Luger.
Yeah, and let's not forget that he had a metal rod inserted into his forearm. That's why they kept emphasizing that knockout power that he has in that forearm.
Like it's an illegal. Like, don't let him wrestle.
Yeah, like, illegal. Dude, you can't use that move because you have a metal rod.
Sorry, Luger will hire you for the front office, but you can't wrestle. You got that front arm. You could potentially kill somebody. You just see Luger with a toga at ringside. Just like holding a camera. Luger.
He would have been one of the people that carried Macho Man in.
Yeah. Luger comes to the ring and poses in front of 4 giant handheld windows, or mirrors, I'm sorry, shooting fireworks, which was very elaborate.
Hilarious.
Another WrestleMania moment.
I got a crush on one of those girls, too.
They were all... I don't remember them individually. I do remember though how committed Mr. Perfect was, because they're going up the ramp and Mr. Perfect's coming down. The girls are like, "Hey,
don't touch me!"
Yeah, he was like, "Get off of me! Get out of here!" And I was like,
"Yeah,
good on you, Mr. Perfect. You knew to stay in character. I like it."
Yeah.
The two go back and forth, trading wrist locks of all things to start the match. Perfect gives a hard slap to Luger in the middle of the ring. Perfect working on the leg. Luger selling the leg really hard, like really good for a good couple minutes, and then he just stops. Like Luger is limping. Like he's like, oh, because he's getting the heat build on him, and then all of a sudden, once he starts coming back, his leg's fine. Like you got to keep selling it, even though you're getting over on the other guy.
Adrenaline kicked in, bro. You don't know.
Still, there should be a little points where you're just like,
totally.
damn it, it hurts. One point though, Perfect whips Luger into the corner. Then Perfect does a spin for no reason. Like he throws Luger into the corner and then Perfect just spins and then nothing. Like as he's like, it was just like, oh, okay.
He had some on his mind, but he kind of was like, "Oh, I'm off balance.
Whoop,
if I hit this, it's gonna look bad."
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to eat it.
Perfect catapults Luger into the turnbuckle. Missile dropkick to Luger. Luger gets his foot on the rope. Luger and Perfect then start having a test of strength with the jackknife position. Luger powers Perfect. Perfect outpowers Perfect. Perfect gets his feet on the ropes, but the ref doesn't see it, so he counts the 3.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot refs yet again.
Damn. And where's the next referee that comes out and goes, "Wait,
where's Jack Tunney?
Where's Danny Davis?
Where's anybody? They're all fucking backstage talking to Shawn Michaels or something."
It looks like everybody gets a turn to talk to Shawn Michaels.
Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. It's just, to me, like I said, the refs were incompetent the entire night.
I don't think it's their fault.
I don't know. Maybe they just had too much. Maybe they had too much fun time nose candy at the fucking WrestleMania brunch.
Yeah, at the Caesars.
Why was there no WrestleMania brunch after WrestleMania 31? I want to eat pancakes with the New Day. God damn it. Just saying. So then this match should have been about 5 minutes long. It was. How much long was it? I didn't write it down. I stopped writing match lengths down. Yay. Yeah. It should have been 5 minutes, but it was a lot longer. After the match, Luger knocks Perfect out with the bionic forearm. Perfect is mad. He makes sure everybody knows what happens because he's in the ring. He's like, I'm gonna yeah.
Me run back, me mad.
He's the narcissist. Well, he's the narcissist. Get it? You know. See, I was too into the gimmick there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then I thought it was gonna end because they're going on for like a good minute ringside, and then Perfect just goes backstage to find Luger and finds him just like chatting it up with Shawn Michaels.
Of all people.
And he attacks Luger, and then HBK attacks Mr. Perfect. Because, hey, you don't attack his friends. That's like, I feel like another thing that happened. Like, it was just in old school WWE, you were just on to the next feud. Okay, yeah, so, like, feuds at this point were just like, it was just on to the next one. You know, it wasn't like, oh, let something happen ringside with these two people. No, it was just Shawn Michaels attacked Mr. Perfect, and now they're about to have a match for the Intercontinental title. You know what I mean? Probably at the next pay-per-view, King of the Ring or some shit, you know?
Yep.
So, Jim Ross keeps Savage from taking out Bobby Heenan, just filling time pretty much.
Oh my God, look like Savage is legit mad.
Heenan's like, hey, dude, sorry, hey, I'm gonna... Then, well, all of a sudden we have a surprise. Gorilla Monsoon. Give us a rundown of the rest of the night. He's backstage, and it's nice to see Gorilla Monsoon, you know?
It is. It's always nice.
And so, yeah. Next match of the night, we have the Giant Gonzalez with Harvey Whippleman versus The Undertaker with Paul Bearer.
Worst gear ever.
Oh, wait, did I mention Pat and Gale with the guys from fucking SoCal?
Right.
Do you remember that?
I think so.
When he's in the Pat and Gale's in the crowd, and he's like, "Where did you guys come from?" And there's like these two bros.
Who could have
been from like today. I swear to God,
Southern California.
Southern California. We drove a Harley, bro.
Yeah, where'd you get the togas? At our Motel 6.
Well, they were like bed sheets, you know. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh God, these guys. I feel like they were just like in Vegas and they just saw people walking. They're like, well, giant toga party. Let's go. You got to pay
tickets.
All right, I drove my Harley here. That sounds like a pain in the ass driving fucking from, I don't know, people probably like it.
Yeah, no, and dude was like, but I drove and he took the sidecar. No, you're lying, bro. I drove, you took the sidecar.
No, I was actually holding on to him from the back. We're in love. It's whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Giant Gonzalez.
Did they talk to the Japanese photographers, or was that later?
I don't know, dude. I don't think I fucking wrote that down. That was so bad. Okay, so we'll just get all this shit out of the way too. So yeah, Todd Battengale is. There's another segment where he's in the crowd. He's saying, "Oh, you know, it's an international event. We have photographers from Japan here, and these guys, God bless their souls. You know, they probably they're probably like, oh shit, be on WrestleMania? Hell yeah, you're gonna interview us. And I don't know how thick their accents were in real life, but if their accents weren't thick, I think they
put it on.
They put it on pretty thick. You know, just saying, oh, WrestleMania #1, you know, fun time, things like that. You know, things that people in the 80s they thought that, oh, that's the way Japanese, that's how, you know, Asian people speak English.
Yeah, well, that was a running gag in all media that, you know, the Japanese carry their cameras everywhere and took pictures of everything, you know?
Well, good for them. I wish I could bring my camera everywhere. I want to take pictures of everything. If I can get everything, fucking start selling some pictures, be paparazzi.
There you go.
See? Yep.
That's thinking. Okay, but on to some more racism. The Giant Gonzalez with the most... I'd rather this guy put on a pair of sweats. You know how I have this thing with sweats and wrestlers in sweats. Yeah. This outfit.
You know you love Golga.
Pseudo fucking Bigfoot.
Naked bodysuit.
Yeah, and it even has an ass crack.
So, dude, Giant Gonzalez is fucking... What do I call
it? It's a bodysuit.
It's a bodysuit. Yeah, it's a bodysuit.
It's not even a singlet. It's a bodysuit.
Yeah, it's like a bodysuit to, like, you know how, like, remember Sasha Banks and Natalya had to wrestle in, like, Saudi Arabia and they had to cover their entire body?
God. Yes.
It's like that. You know what I mean? Except this one, it's like there's a naked body painted on the bodysuit. So it begs the question, why didn't they just have him go out naked? You know what I mean? Or
then there's hair at odd patches, like on the top of his thigh, there's a big patch of hair. Of course, where his dong should be, there's a big patch of hair.
Oh, he's
then
not shaving
his armpits, big patch of hair.
Yeah.
On his waist, big patch of hair.
Was it actual hair or was it just like drawn in?
No. It was drawn in hair. Just
they should have put actual. They should have put actual hair.
Yeah. It would have been more.
Just like a little bit around the nipples. You know what I mean? Just like a little bit though, not too much.
A bunch in his ass crack.
Yeah. Wait, we have to talk about this match. So this match is the Undertaker's historic winning streak at WrestleMania. This is another one we get to talk about. One of his great moments at WrestleMania, defeating the Giant Gonzalez in an epic match of two giants.
Dude, at one point the crowd was yelling for Hogan.
Were they? I thought they were. I thought they were chanting something else, but
no, they were like Hogan.
So first of all, I'll say this: Gonzalez is fucking huge.
Yeah, he is. He made he dwarfed Undertaker, right?
Undertaker, yeah. Undertaker is tiny compared to the guy. Taker, he's pulled to the ring in a chariot, from what I can only assume. So he's pulled by a chariot to the ring. I'm assuming two jobbers are pulling him out, and there was Paul Bearer, there was a Vulture. And then there was some guy in a robe who I want to know the backstory behind him. Like, I want to know, is this like do you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No, I tried.
Okay,
I tried.
There's a point where there's like this evil guy and he takes over the church and he's like, but he wears like a giant robe like that. And I want to see like an evil like priest like in Undertaker's corner.
Well, we get one of those. We almost got to it in our Heat review.
Yeah, we did. So back and forth, the two men outpowering one another. Giant strikes Taker in the gut. We get an old school to Gonzalez. Taker is trying to take Gonzalez down to size. Gonzalez chokes Taker down to the mat. Gonzalez botches throwing Taker out of the ring. They battle on the outside. Gonzalez tossing Taker into the solid steel chair or the stairs. Paul Bearer then wakes Taker up with, I'm guessing he just put a popper under his nose. Here you go. He's like, ooh. But Taker gets up after he sees the urn. Taker is knocked down repeatedly by Gonzalez, but keeps popping back up because it's the dead man. Gonzalez is knocked down to one knee, and that's when Whippleman...
the worst selling job in history.
Oh, dude, Gonzalez is so bad. Okay, what did I read? Gonzalez wrestles like a dad would wrestle with his 4-year-old kid. Yeah. Like the over exaggeration of it, like, I'm coming to get you. You know what I mean? Like, you'd pick your kid up, you're going going for it. I'm slamming you down. And you would make these like faces and things like that. Like that's, I'm like envisioning like how I wrestled with my dad. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, things like that.
Quick question to get off topic really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Combining the WCW checks and the WWF checks, you think this guy made a good enough living to like retire and not do anything? Go back to Argentina and chill?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Go back to Argentina? Yeah, and chill? Yeah. I mean, if he was smart, he probably could have like bought some land. You know what I mean? You know, maybe he bought a McDonald's franchise.
There you go.
You know,
He's
just sitting there like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Gonzalez loving it. Actually, that would have been a big sell. Like, come meet the Giant Gonzalez at, you know, this man took on The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Meet
El
and greets.
Gigante.
Yeah, El Gigante, yeah. The superstar of 2 American promotions. So Gonzalez is knocked down to a knee. That's when Whippleman gets on the apron. Taker grabs Whippleman, and that's when Whippleman tosses a rag into the ring. And that's when Gonzalez just like pops up after being knocked down to one knee, gets up, gives Paul Bearer a headbutt. Then Taker charges Gonzalez. The Giant applies a rag to Taker's face.
Hey, what is that? The chloroform?
Oh,
The chloroform?
No. So hold on. Heenan is like, what is that smell, Ross? Jim Ross is like, I don't know what that smell is. Macho Man knew fucking immediately. Oh, that's chloroform. I know that smell. Oh, yeah, brother.
No, well, at first he couldn't get the name right. But then I think Heenan corrected him. No, that's chloroform. He's like, oh, yeah, that's what it is.
I knew that smell. It takes me back. It takes me back years ago. I used to inhale it myself.
Knock myself out.
Oh, it's a good painkiller. The ref tells Giant Gonzalez to break the hold, but he refuses to break the hold. He calls for the bell. So Undertaker is now something in O at WrestleMania with a DQ win. So remember that. Undertaker's historic streak that's been broken by Brock Lesnar, I know, and Roman Reigns.
Is tainted.
Is literally tainted because there's a DQ finish in there. Which I guess, you know, with that many victories at WrestleMania.
Yeah. A win's a win's a win.
So then Macho Man exclaims, he says, I'll tell you something. You can kill a guy with that stuff. Just like, oh, okay, Macho. You got it, buddy.
Oh, my God.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Heenan's like, get me the fuck out of here, man.
Just right before this fight is when they got into it. So, you know, he's like, oh, God.
He just, you know, they can kill a man. Looks at Heenan. Heenan's like, look forward. So then officials from all around. So I expected Taker to pop right back. And first off, I think this is where I discovered what chloroform was. Because I'm thinking like, I was like 5, and I knew what chloroform was at like a very early age.
Why? Why did I know this?
Yeah, and I was like, this has got to be where it's from right here.
Totally, yeah.
So the officials surround Undertaker, and like I said, once everyone starts leaving, I expected Taker just to pop right back, and I think he should have. I think Taker should have just sat up right there and went after Gonzalez. But
on the gurney, right? Yeah.
But no, it takes the medical professionals who are in togas. It takes like 8 of them to drag Taker out of the ring, get him on the gurney, and then bring him out. Push him out past the curtain, and that's when Taker comes back to the ring.
Yeah, it was at that time when the crowd started yelling for Hogan.
I thought they were chanting bullshit.
No.
Okay.
People wouldn't yell bullshit back then.
I would for that fucking main event.
Yeah, well, maybe at the gym. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, I would have yelled bullshit at half of these matches, if not all of them.
The entire night. Bullshit.
Bullshit. I want my money back.
So I love that. Like I said, they're supposed to be medical professionals taken out. Taker is taken off in the gurney. Fans, I thought they were chanting bullshit, but I guess they weren't. Gonzalez is posing into the ring because that's what you do when you win at WrestleMania 9. You pose in the ring for 3 minutes. You want everyone to wind up their camera so they can get a good picture. So then Taker comes back to the ring. He beats down on Gonzalez. Like, he gets a couple strikes in. Gonzalez is like escorted out, but what I think are shoot police officers. Because these guys have the biggest smile on their face. They're like, come on, go, get out of here. Come on. Don't touch me, you silly goose.
I'm on TV.
It was such a. This match was such a bullshit house show match. You know what I mean? Like,
it was a sideshow attraction match. That's what this was.
Yeah, this
is your old school carny man versus giant.
But this is like the main event at a house show that you'd be like, okay, you know what? Taker's gonna lose, but he's gonna come in. We're gonna send the people home happy. You know, Taker's gonna come down. He's gonna beat ass, and he's gonna pound some ass. And he's gonna win, or he's gonna lose, and he's gonna fuck it, whatever. Everyone goes home.
I bet they had that feeling because of the next set of matches.
So then we get Mean Gene looking back at Yokozuna and Bret Hart's feud. As you may know, Yokozuna won the Royal Rumble, correct? In 1993. In Sacramento. It took place in Sacramento, California. So not too far off from Las Vegas. They did they did them both on the West Coast. It's pretty cool. Then Gene is joined by Hulk Hogan. And Hogan says... he goes, brother, so many people in Vegas are stepping over the line, if you know what I mean. I'm like, really, Hogan? People in Vegas. I'm looking at you, brother. You're stepping over the line.
Stepping over the ladder, stepping over the line.
He says, I asked all my Hulkamaniacs. I'm talking like fucking macho now. I'm just going to say, he asked all his Hulkamaniacs to get behind Bret Hart tonight. He says, but he goes on, he goes, that's why I'm issuing a challenge to either you, Bret, and pardon my language, or the chap. I want the title shot. And I'm just like...
And there's no way he maybe misspoke instead of saying chap.
This is the
Champ.
same. This is the same guy we literally opened the show with.
You're
talking
right.
about saying the N-word.
You're right.
In private.
My bad.
Like,
my bad. The length of this review and the pay-per-view is making me go crazy. God, man.
I paused it for a second too. I couldn't do it, man. I could not do it. And Hogan seems extra hyped up, by the way. Hogan. You remember in Cruel Intentions, the girl had the little thing around her neck. He's just
yeah.
So then Todd Pattengale is with a couple jobbers in the crowd. Cool. Yokozuna versus Bret Hart for the WWF Championship. So this match happened with 13 minutes left in the show.
What?
Yes. 13 minutes left in the show, and the main event kicks off. Which, I mean, okay, they're going to have a 13-minute main event if you didn't know what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Yoko poses. Bret charges Yoko with a very nice-looking drop kick. Bret trips up Yoko on the ropes. The ref gets Yoko out of the ropes. Clothesline to Bret. Big leg drop to Bret. Bret Hart then is on the back of Yokozuna, knocking him down. Heenan says he rode him like a Brahma bull. Vince's him. Super kick to Hart. Hart dodges Yoko and hits him with the bulldog. Hart hits a series of flying maneuvers, knocking Yokozuna down. Hart pulls off the turnbuckle inadvertently and smashes Yoko's head into the corner. Hart barely gets... Yokozuna's down. He goes for the sharpshooter. And he goes for... he's trying to lift Yokozuna's legs up. The ref is paying attention to Yokozuna. Mr. Fuji then throws some dust into the eyes of Bret Hart, forcing...
Salt.
Right, that's what we were saying. But then I'm looking back at it, and I'm like, that's like the powder.
Flour.
Yeah, that's like, or like the powder weightlifting powder.
Resin?
I don't fucking know. Some shit.
The stuff that LeBron James does this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The
chalk. Yeah. Yokozuna then rolls up Bret Hart, and your new WWF champion.
And dude, I would have been juiced if this was the finale. I would fine with it because you know what, Yokozuna could work.
Yeah, and Hogan was in that ring faster than the fucking manager who was at ringside was.
Dude, right after the 3 count was done, he was there.
He was pretty much in the ring by the 2 count. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was waiting to get in there. Mr. Fuji throwing his hands up in the, or he's looking at Mr. Fuji.
Okay, I call bullshit here.
What?
Before Mr. Fuji says anything, we just saw Hogan cut a promo talking about I got next no matter who wins. Yeah. I want Bret. I want Yokozuna. I don't care who it is. I want next. Yeah. And he went above and beyond to get his match on the same show.
Yeah.
Why, like as if he had the money in the bank.
Yeah. No, he did. And well, okay. I went back and I rewatched some of WWE Network's show that just came out recently called Icons. There was an episode on Yokozuna. So the story of this match goes, first off, the entire Anoa'i Fatu, I can't remember their actual last name, but you know, the whole family was there. Roman was there, Afa, Sika, you know, I think Dwayne, I think they were all there. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to be there for Yoko, for Rodney. And, you know, then when they asked Bret about the match, Bret Hart says, this match has two parts to it. There's part A and part B. He says, part A was very good. He goes, if you watch it, it was actually pretty good. He goes,
Yeah, that Yokozuna super kick was awesome.
He goes, we go back and forth. He says, Bret added, though, that there was a whole part of the match that that Yoko just skipped. He says, we went from part A to the end of part A to the end of the match.
What?
He says he doesn't know why Yokozuna did it. He thought he might have been gassed. You know what I mean? Like he might have been out of breath. He might have just, but he doesn't know why. He says that's what happened at that part. Bruce Pritchard goes on. He says the plan was for Yokozuna to be our champion going into the future. And this changed WrestleMania weekend. They were told the night before that they told Bret Hart, this is going to be the finish now. Hogan's going to come down and win the title off Yokozuna. Bret said he wanted to shove his finger down his throat because it made him sick. And then Hulk Hogan gives a statement, and this is in 2020. He says, oh, brother. He says, from what I remember, I knew that I was leaving. I don't know what I was doing, a movie or something, but I talked Vince into, you know, what's the main event? I go out this, that, and another. You can book us for the next pay-per-view. So it was my pear brain idea, and it caused quite a controversy. So Bret goes on to say that he thought wrestling evolved from the muscle men of the 80s into this new pushing wrestlers. But at that point, he says it was the Hogan show all over again. Bruce Pritchard, who was one of the backstage producers at the time, says the reasoning for this was there was an international tour coming up, and this was Hogan's farewell tour, essentially.
Oh, God.
Hogan's farewell tour in 1993.
He could do it without the strap.
They wanted him to do it with a strap. They have an international tour. They wanted him to go back and forth. Well, you know, I don't think it was them. I think Hogan had this idea, and I think he told Vince, and I think Vince and Hogan are very close. And
well, we know, Hogan is a swinger, so maybe Vince was too.
I don't know. I've only heard stories, and who's to say the legit?
Oh, I got video proof to prove it.
So then, and then he says, in hindsight, it was a bad idea. And I guess in hindsight, it always is a worse idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
we've seen how many times he put over fucking Bret Hart.
It sucks, bro, because like I will go back and I watch this and I'm like, damn, the whole family was there, and like they were all let down. Even Roman at one point says, like, Roman's being interviewed. He goes, there was so much energy, there was so much excitement. He won the title. He goes, and then he came down. He refers to Hogan as he, not, and then Hogan came down. And it just reminded me of when I remember WrestleMania 31 when Roman versus Brock and Seth came in and cashed it. Roman's dad had no idea about that finish, and I heard was fucking pissed. Because it's like, how many times are you going to do that to the family? You know what I mean? Just rip it away like that. You want your kid. You want these kids. And they're all kids at the time.
Yeah. This is Hogan again, brother.
Well, it was Seth that time. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
But it's Hogan all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Fuji challenges Hogan. Hart is just like... Just like... Hart's just like, dude, just get the fuck out of my face. So then we have Hogan versus Yokozuna. It's nothing.
Oh,
match.
And old school Mr. Fuji came out. Come on, Hogan, you yellow belly. I was like, ooh, that's a nice 1940s reference.
Well, Hogan does have a yellow shirt.
He is literally
a yellow belly. Yeah.
and he has a yellow streak on his back. Yeah, you're right.
This was like a 30-40 second match. So the match never got started technically. The bell never rang.
The bell never rang.
The bell never rang.
No official
So,
beginning to this match.
I think Hogan's championship reign should be expunged. His 5th championship reign should be expunged from the record.
I'm with you. Let's start a petition. I bet you we could get it done.
Hashtag ban Hogan's 5th reign.
Yep.
You know, cancel. I'm canceling his other
you
one.
know, yeah. At the end of the day, this makes everybody look bad. Even Hogan.
Oh, so sorry. Big boot leg drop. Hogan wins.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, who comes out looking great in this? No one. Yokozuna looks worse because he got squashed. Brett looks bad because he lost the title and didn't do business with Hogan ever. And the business as a whole for WWE, did they ever improve after this title change? Did they bring in, did they put butts in seats?
No, they did worse. 94, 95 was some of the worst years for WWE.
Yeah, and then you get
some of the greatest for
steroids.
WCW too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then you get the whole steroid scandal, and it's just this was like Bret Hart says, it was two matches
in one. Yeah,
two matches in one. And, but in a different way. It just sucked.
Hogan sucks. Hogan sucks. His pay-per-view sucked. And fucking Todd Pattengale sucks. Nah, he's alright, I guess.
Bright spots.
He did push that kid out of the way. That kid with the guest shirt. The kid was like trying to go down the alley. He was like, "Fucking move!"
Yeah.
I want to talk to these SoCal guys who rode the motorcycles.
I want to talk to the dudes.
Yeah.
All right. So highlights: Brett, Yokozuna, up until the 3 count.
What was the match I liked? There was a match I liked that I was like, "Oh, that was pretty good."
You probably like
I liked
Mr. Perfect and Lex?
No, not really.
Okay, you probably like the tag match of the Steiner Brothers versus the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah. That was a good match.
After that, there's nothing to brag about.
But yeah, Backlund and Ramon. I mean, it was 3 minutes, but it was decent psychology.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. And then the Steiner Brothers. The Steiners. Yep. So it was WrestleMania 9. It fucking sucked.
Not even in a good way.
No.
You know, some things are like, wow, this sucks so bad, it's good.
You're like, haha, the explosion didn't even go off. No, not like that. Not like that was great. This is 4 fucking viewings to watch this show.
Yeah, just if you made it this far, spoiler alert. What made this week worth it for me is watching Cody and Penta go at it, watching Rey Fenix fight, and of course Britt Baker and Terra Nova tear down the house.
Terra Nova
on AEW. Terra Nova.
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa. It's late. I'm tired.
Mr. Vontae's herself.
Yeah, tear down the house on AEW Dynamite. That was the highlight.
Hey man, you gotta save some of that stuff too for when for after shit like WrestleMania 9.
Dude, it was such a palate cleanser because I saved the main event. I just saved it just out of shits and giggles. I didn't have enough time to watch.
Oh yeah.
I finished WrestleMania and I was like, oh my god, thank God I have the rest of this AEW to watch. I've been hearing so many good things about it.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah. Well, I think that about does it here for us. That was WrestleMania 9. And
Nova.
Who is Terra Nova?
Terra Nova?
Yeah, who is that?
Dude, I think that's where she got her name from.
Is that
I don't know what
is Terra Nova like a
Oh, it's a high school.
Oh, I thought it was a superhero. Oh, I'm thinking terrorizing. I'm thinking of Triple H.
No, and you're also probably thinking of Nova from ECW, who used to wear all those superhero outfits.
I think that's exactly who I'm thinking of. Thank you. All right, that about does it here for us for our yearly retro WrestleMania. We'll be back in a couple weeks with
something better,
something that we can watch on the fucking Peacock networks. This is gonna suck, man. Took away our archives. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Have a wonderful day. And Dave, bye.
Goodbye. Damn, it sucks.